Hey guys, and welcome to an Active Ideas video. We're going to be looking at the difference between the Fenix 7 and the 955. I've also chucked in the Fenix 6X as well, so hopefully that'll give you an option with the different casing sizes, also the differences in weights, and also the feature set, because for some reason Garmin has different software teams, so you'll find that the experience is often different on these different watches. For example, if it's classed as an outdoor kind of adventure watch, the Fenix range, you're going to get a lot of different software tweaks compared to the running range, which is classed as like an activity tracker, I guess. And I believe they're different departments, and yeah, a few of those differences for me as a user of both were quite frustrating. So I'll dive into that and hopefully you enjoy.
So I've never had this happen before, and I've owned many Garmins, but when I opened up the box, it had a little bubble on the screen protector that they usually put on there in the manufacturing process. When I lifted off the screen protector, I saw a black dot, and it's underneath the screen, so that's dust that's underneath the screen and it's just there. Unfortunately, maybe that's why I'm having some bugs, maybe it's not, but also I found some dust on the heart rate sensor as well, so be really careful that you've got a good Garmin and check before you kind of get used to wearing it, in case you might need to send yours back like mine.
The first thing that kind of frustrated me about the 955 was the torch features. So if I just show you on the Garmin Fenix here, so if you put the torch in, which I can activate by triple clicking the top right button. Now you can scroll through these menus, so if you scroll through the menu by pressing down, then you get to the flashing. It might be that you're in an emergency situation and for some reason you just want some flashing going on to, you know, show some hazard warning. But also really cool is the red face watch light. And I have used this, again, if you want to preserve your night vision when you're walking around. Obviously this won't damage your eyesight in terms of you being able to see in the dark. You're quite limited on here, so again, if I triple press the buttons, nothing happens, so that's a bit annoying. I've got to hold down the top button, scroll through to wherever my flashlight is, and then put it on. So there we go, there's the flashlight on the 955. But then what happens if I want to scroll through? You'll find that there's nothing. Okay, another thing I want to show you really quickly. So if I go on to the barometer, shall we? Barometer, so this is how much the pressure throughout the day has changed. If I show you on Fenix 7, we swipe through the data, you can do this heart rate, stress throughout the day, every metric that this watch collects. You can swipe through the day and have a look at the data points. This has taken me back to the Vivo Active 3 days. My first Garmin could do this. I want some new innovation, and this is definitely it. It's really cool. I'm a nerd, I want the data. You can't do anything like that on the 955 in terms of swiping through the data. You also saw there the left swipe issue with the really sensitive screen. So bearing in mind as well, the 955 screen is bigger than the 7S, except they've nailed the software so that we don't have to deal with these bugs. I can barely use the touchscreen on here as I'm talking to you on the camera. Again, when you swipe left, you've got to hold your finger here and not let go, because if you do it too sensitively, you're going to just jump straight back to the home screen. Here, it's a bit more kind of like a forced swipe, so I really had to swipe it there, which is kind of good. And when it's on your wrist, you'll kind of get used to that and go, no, I've stopped swiping now, I just want to go back. And now I want to go back to the home screen. So you go back up, swipe onto the home screen. Really easy to get through. Another thing, if you have family in different countries, alternative time zones might be great for you. I have family in Australia, so I've got the Perth and also Barbados here with the times on the Fenix 7. With the alternative times on the 955, you are very much limited. So yeah, I was able to find Perth is here, but then trying to look for Barbados, you can't find it, so very annoying. I've got the US, which is close, I believe, to Barbados, -5 hours. So we've got 14:24, 15:23. You actually can't find Barbados in the 955. If I go to add to time zone, very limited to what countries you actually do have. So let me just show you. Here we go. I already got to the bottom there. That was the end of the list. I don't know where Baker Island is. That's the end of the list. If you add a new time zone on the Fenix 7, you get the whole world map, and you can actually scroll through until you find the exact destination that you need. It will highlight the different parts of the map for you. You click on it, yep, I want that part, and then you can click your exact village, city or town, whatever you want, and loads of options here for all around the world. You're not going to struggle to find what you're looking for. Issues with the compass here. So we're going to get the compass up for the next bit, and also going to get the 6X out just to show you the direction of the compasses. Now, one thing that you'll find very interesting is that you'll see that the compass on the 955 is pointing in a different direction to the Garmin 6X and the Garmin 7S as well. So they're pointing in the north, which is kind of this direction. And the difference is quite big, where the 955 is pointing in a north that's that direction, but this needs calibrating. If I go to calibrate the Garmin Fenix, I can click on lock heading, I can click on calibrate, and I can click on compass settings straight from the app. And we'll do the same on here, shall we? So we'll lock the heading, set it and turn it this way. Again, no features on this. I can't do anything. I can't adjust or calibrate the compass. Quite frustrating to use, actually. You know, it's quite quick, actually. They're all quite quick. I'm really impressed with the compass features on these, but you need to calibrate this one probably, and you can't do it from the settings like you can on these where I can click. So there we go. You can hold down the up button to get to your options, but obviously that's a little bit more awkward. Or you can go into the settings and then scroll through a million different settings and look for the calibrate compass. I just like with here, it's straight there, and also you've got the lock heading feature, which is really cool. So the next thing I don't like about the 955 is that you can't start a health snapshot from the widgets menu. So let's say you're flicking through the widgets and you go all the way to the health snapshot, which is here. You click on it and there's nothing you can do. If you look on the other Garmin, so this one over here, I'll scroll through to the health shot, which is, click on here. Now look what I can do, press start to measure. So right from the widget, I can just start to measure straight away. So gang, welcome to the map. And look, we've come a long way. Look at the Garmin 6 here without the touchscreen. When you go to use the map, you're gonna have to click through the buttons to go left, and then it's gonna load the screen. You're gonna have to click through the buttons again to zoom in, and then it's gonna load the screen. You know, it's not terrible, but it's all button led. Then you're going to click again to go up and down. So we're going to go up. And you can see if you get lost on the Garmin 6, you're probably going to stay lost. Now on the 955, you can't do much as the 7. Let's explain that. So on the 7, I can double tap and kind of zoom in. Just like on Google Maps. How cool is that? I'm swiping through, I'm double tapping. Now I'm going to go left and follow this road, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit, or quite a lot because I'm really zoomed in. Go down. So yeah, swiping through the 7 is great. With the 955, it looks like it's the exact same, so I can swipe right, and again, I can't double tap, so that double tap feature is lost. I want to zoom into the watch, but I can't. Nothing is happening. I have to click here. Oh, and even then, nothing's happening. I need to use the actual buttons. Whereas on the 7, you can actually tap these buttons. They're interactive. Swipe, zoom in some more. Now, what's quite annoying as well is I can swipe this way, but it's really sensitive. You can see that it took me straight back to pan and zoom, and now I've lost where I was on the map and I've got to start again. It's fine. Swiping down, it's okay. Swiping to the left, it's kicked me out of maps. So you can't swipe left on the 955. Now you can potentially swipe left really slow and then hold it, and then you lift your finger off. And this is the only way. Even then, look, straight back to pan and zoom. It's really annoying. And obviously that's a bug, but they need to fix that pretty pronto. If you're a hiker, an ultra runner, or someone who's going to be out in the mountains, for example, this is something that you do not want to be happening, where you're going to swipe left and it's messing up your map every 2 seconds. Very annoying that they haven't just given you the full features of the Fenix 7. You know, it seems like they've held you back a little bit, where they could have just given you the Fenix 7 features with no bugs. Okay, so the next thing, so you can actually palm your Fenix to turn off the light. So palm, the light goes off. So say you're in a cinema and your notifications gone off and you forgot to turn your do not disturb on, or for any reason it's kind of dark and you don't want the backlight bright bearing in your face, you can just palm it turns it off. With the 955, you palm it, nothing. You actually have to turn it off here at the light button. On, off, on, go to palm it, nothing, turn it off. So the next feature that I really liked on my Fenix 7 is the ability to quickly adjust your clocks. From clocks you can access whatever clock you want, so timers, alarms, the whole shop. So I like when I'm at work, I can set, when I have my break for 20 minutes, I can go onto my timer and click, look, 19 minutes, 16 seconds, off you go. Obviously they all have this feature, but I just like that you can access your timer, you can also access your alarms really quickly, and you can also access your stopwatch and your alternative times as well. It's a really cool controls feature. If I just show you, if I hold down on this one to get to the controls menu, I can't have clocks. I've had to have the alarms clock, I've had to have the stopwatch, and I've had to have the timer as well. So I can't have them all in one place. They need to be their separate entities on here, which is a bit annoying. I just like, oh look, I want my clock and from my clock I can do my timers, my alarms, my stopwatches, and look at my alternative times. The next thing about the clocks as well, I just wanted to show you a really cool feature on the Garmin 7, Fenix 7. So if I go through to clocks, click on clocks, and I go on to alarms, I like that I can scroll through my alarms and I can click them on. I can click another one on, and if I don't want that alarm and I want to delete it, I can swipe it away like you would an Apple Watch goodbye. And for someone who sets lots of alarms, lots of timers, that's a really useful feature. So if I go into my alarms on the Garmin 955, if I scroll through, which I can, again, it's a bit more robotic, as you can see. I have got touch turned on, but I don't know what's, you know what I mean, it's just a bit buggy. So I'm swiping through. Now if I go to swipe an alarm away, nothing. So again, you can't use the touchscreen as much as you want to. Everything on the Fenix 7, when you feel like you want to use the touchscreen, you can use it. But there just seems to be some unneeded restrictions on this buggy touchscreen on the 955, which is kind of annoying. You can't do anything. If I hold down on the 955, nothing happens. If I hold down on the Garmin 7, Fenix 7, it's taking me to my settings and stuff. So it just feels a bit more responsive to use. Another cool thing from the controls menu on the Garmin Fenix 7 is that you can access sleep mode. So we've got sleep mode, and I can turn this on and off. So if you actually want to activate sleep mode a bit earlier than what you've automatically set it for, I can switch it on. I can't see it on the 955, so we've got no ability to access a sleep mode. Now we have do not disturb. But again, you can access that on this one as well. You might not want to be disturbed on the Garmin Fenix 7 either, but you also might not want to sleep. So this is an option for, you don't want to be disturbed, but you're also not going to have a sleep, so you can put it into do not disturb. And again, look at the difference between the icon for the do not disturb on the 7, 955. It would just be nice if there was some system kind of continuity in terms of accessing, you know, the same thing. So if you're a fan of Apple, you know that haptic vibration is really cool and really useful. The vibration on the 955 is actually quite good, but what you don't have is the haptics. So we've got the option to switch on haptics. We also have keypad tones, and we also have vibration. So vibration and haptics are not the same thing, would you believe it or not? Now you don't have the option for that on here. We have the alert vibration, we have key tones, which is cool. We have the key vibe, I'm not too sure what that is, but we have no haptics. Cool, so I've showed you the haptics that's interesting. Now one of my hotkeys that I really like, so say I'm in an activity, off we go, I'm running. Now I'm someone who likes to fidget, and I like to know what's on my watch face, and sometimes I like to go back to my watch face like this. Just go to my home screen where I've got my music controls, and then I can start music. We'll go to system, hotkeys, there we go. So here we can obviously put hold down as the watch face. On here we can't. We've got hold start, we've got hold back, we've got starting down, starting up. Again, I just want to hold down and take me to the watch face. With this one you can't do that. Why does that matter? You may be asking, you're insane. The thing is, you can quite easily press a lap. You start your run and you might go to hold back and you've accidentally started a lap. So I really am reluctant to use this as a hotkey because it's so easy to put laps on your run and it just messes up all of your data. So I know that's a really petty thing, but it'd be nice if I could use this button as a custom key by itself like you can on the Fenix 7. I don't know why they're different. You tell me. So next thing I'm not a massive fan of is the battery life. Isn't actually that fantastic on here. We're on 43%. I'll tell you when I last charged it. It's the 9th today. I last charged it on the 5th, so I've had 4 days and I've burnt through half the battery, and I'm not even working out that much at the moment. I'm actually injured, so the battery is burning pretty much as quick as the watch that's half the size of it. Don't know what's going on here. It's even got a bigger solar ring than this, more surface area. Obviously the burn rate is a bit higher. Maybe that's something to do with software, but what's really cool on here is that you can go onto your power manager. You've got options for the battery saver, which yes, we do have here, but also you're limited. So you've got battery percentage and then you've got battery estimates. On the Garmin Fenix 7, we have the battery saver. We've got the power modes. Now this is where you can really go into some heavy detail. If you're into ultra running or anything more than a marathon and you want to be using your watch throughout the day, blasting multi-band GPS, using all the features, sleeping with pulse ox, for example, you've got options to extend your battery life with max battery, extended. You've got max accuracy, you've got jacket mode, and then you can make your own. So you've got this really flexible thing where you can tell the watch, look, when I go for my ultra run, I want the heart rate to be on. If I don't check my pulse ox, you can turn the backlight down to 5% and don't connect to my phone. Little things like that. All these really specific incremental things can make your battery last for hours, if not days more. On here we just have, you know, oh, I need to save battery, put the battery saver on. Look, we can change the music, disable a few things, but we've just got this one mode. But here you can literally change any feature that you'd like on the watch on the Fenix 7. Another thing which is quite obvious, I think, is that the watch face sucks. So let me show you the watch face. I really like actually the Garmin 6X watch face. For me, I like that it gives you a lot of information. I really like the cool little solar graph, which is useless, but it's really cool because you've got a solar watch in your hand. Let's show it off, you know. They've got it on the box, for example. They know it's cool, we know it's cool, everybody knows it's cool. Again, I've got a similar thing going on the 7S. Here you've got this really annoying kind of dial, which is useless because you've got the time here anyway, which you can't turn off, by the way. You've got the date at the top, you've got the battery, which, you know, I don't know, it's a bit limited. And then here you've got the heart rate, but you can't swipe through. How do I access them? You know, I'm touching the screen here, nothing's happening. You actually have to tap to the right-hand side, and then eventually it'll move through. So really stiff, buggy experience. I should be able to swipe through here, and I've got this big screen, and I've looked through the watch faces, and you actually can't change much about this. Watch face, go to customize, dial, so you can't get rid of these annoying things. And the thing is with the actual hand faces is that they'll actually block the data. So there will be points in the day, obviously at 1:30 or when it's 6 o'clock, that you can't see what your heart rate is because the dial is there, completely blocking your view. I've even tried customize. Now you might say, Kingsley, have you tried creating a new watch face to achieve exactly what you're trying to do? And I have. I've tried multiple times. I think they're just limiting you on purpose here because you've got a Forerunner, and I think that's a bit cheeky of them. They're all the watch faces that you can have without the data fields. And hey, look, you've got ConnectIQ, but that really slows down the watch. Let me show you what ConnectIQ does to the watch. I'm swiping up. Now we're moving smoothly here. Now watch me get to a ConnectIQ field. Glitch. So I don't want a ConnectIQ field. It'll probably drain battery a little bit more than what Garmin's made. A very non-issue thing is the dirt build-up in the sensor. I just found it to be a little bit worse on the 955. That's the sensor here, whereas I wasn't keeping this one, or intentionally trying to keep this one clean. And always having quite a clean sensor. Might be something to do with the material, with this one being metal, this one being plastic, something like that. Also this one being a bit bigger, I guess. Who knows, but yeah, this was generally quite easy to keep clean. This one, slept with it on, it had loads of dirt in the morning. Timeout features, so we'll go to the timeout features. Now I believe you're limited on the 955 to 8 seconds, or less than 8 seconds, you can't do that. So when you click this button on, it's going to stay on for at least 8 seconds, you've got a choice of 15, 30, 1 minute, or it's just going to stay on forever. But what happens if you want less? And we've got the choice of 4 seconds, and obviously if you're trying to save battery, or if it keeps switching on when you get notifications, vibrates, when you flick your wrist up and it switches on, obviously that's just going to burn more battery throughout the day. So it'd be nice to have any amount of seconds that you like, really, but obviously more options is better, and that's good. And the last issue was with sleep. So when you're on sleep, just with it not picking up that I'd actually slept, to be honest. So we'll go through to that. And on Tuesday was a day that I'd slept for maybe 4.5 hours, or you could call it a nap, but I definitely did sleep with it on. It even did the morning kind of screen that it usually does, but it didn't save my sleep. So very odd that I got the morning screen with my training readiness and my training status, but it didn't save my actual sleep. So if you're someone who doesn't sleep very much, or you don't sleep at usual hours, or you nap a lot, this is really going to struggle to find your sleep, and obviously that's going to mess up all of your training status features that you're wearing it for anyway. So one to keep an eye on. I'm sure it's a bug they can fix, but at the minute it's a bit dodgy. So the last issue is to do with Garmin Connect in terms of the PhysioTrueUp. So it's very hard to get something that's telling you the same stuff. So if I go into training status, it's saying that I'm in a state of recovery, which is coming from the 955 up here, but then you go to the Fenix 7, it says I'm detraining. So why are two watches that have the same access to the same data through Garmin Connect giving you completely different training statuses? So yeah, just very interesting that it's not giving you the same information. Also, I want to add that these are reasons not to get the 955, but I am a big Garmin fan, and to be honest, once I get a 955, that hasn't got dust in the screen or in the sensor, I would be highly tempted and probably will end up keeping it just because of the weight. It is a shame a lot of the features I'm missing out on, but with someone with really sensitive skin, it's just not something that I have the luxury of having the choice to decide. If it's better for my skin, then I'm going to be wearing that watch. And again, you're not compromising too much on the features. The price range is nice as well in terms of you not having to worry about having, you know, a £900 Fenix on your wrist. Yeah, it's a bit cheaper, or a lot cheaper, and hopefully that gives you a little bit of rest as well. But yeah, my overall experience is that you are going to enjoy the 955, but there are a lot of things that Garmin need to improve, which can be done luckily by software. So hopefully this helps. I'm a massive fan, but these are things that are not good, and I think you'll understand why as well.
So thanks for watching. You know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe if you can. My slogan: dreams are a step away. And remember, show compassion, show esteem, and have fun out there. Peace out.